everybody, and welcome to the Snowocalypse post-show week 3. Very exciting times. Oh, sorry. Phone is buzzing away in my pocket. Yes. So, this is, as always, the post-show where I go through my GM planning and preparation stages for the Apocalypse World campaign, the Snowocalypse. Spoiler warning! If you're watching this either on YouTube or here on Twitch Live right now, if you have not seen week 3 of the Snowocalypse, I will be spoiling all of it in great detail. In fact, I will be spoiling probably quite a few of the events in week 4 in some detail. Maybe even weeks 5 through 7. Who knows? Well, we'll get there. But yes, there's going to be a lot of me discussing those kinds of things. So if you want to avoid that, you probably don't. You don't want to be here. Also, if you're my players, get the hell out. I see you, Katonia. That's Johnny to the rest of you. Yes, if you haven't seen them before, you're on my Twitch channel. The YouTube is down there. Go catch up. Playlist is all there. If you are on YouTube, obviously pause this. Go do the thing. But yes. So last time we had bit of a... Yeah, things got a little heavy. Really, very quickly. So we started off with a meeting of the court. We discovered medical supplies going, running low. There's some tension amongst the workforce between members of the court. Some of them don't like Midnight very much because she's kind of on Cecil's side in the eyes of some people. Yeah. All very tense. But then a bunch of Cecil's men burst in, breaking up the meeting and the order of all that stuff, and started attempting to bully people. Indeed, Sheriff was there, and he attempted to, what's the word I'm looking for here? Humiliate, maybe? I think emasculate Tudor and bully Midnight. And then got shot in the face. Well, shot in the back of the head, the bullet came out of his face. So, you know, he dead. Super dead. And then there was a big firefight. Some bullets were given and exchanged. During that, one of my favourite NPCs to play, actually, weirdly enough, Greg, died. I'm really sad about that one. That one actually, cut me to the core a bit. But it's the way of Apocalypse World. We murder our NPCs. Especially our favourite ones. And then, yeah, some of the guards got away. Cecil turned off the air to the lower floors. Oh, I forgot. Our dear Lady Lux found herself a man. Well, boy toy, possibly more accurately. Had a tense confrontation with her uncle. Arpus is his name. They had a little bit of a spat. Made it to the tank, and then battles commenced in places. Tudor used his psychic powers to bring Cecil down to the lower floors and had a bit of a tete-a-tete, I suppose you could call it. Midnight's whacked out on drugs. Yeah. It's all been very exciting. I'd like to go through some of the things actually that inspired me for that last session. Because the one about the meeting and the whole... Well, first of all, the mechanical reason behind it is because we asked in the intro what people have been doing in their downtime, right? And Midnight told me that she'd been doing bits and pieces, hanging around, maybe seeing some people, but nothing too fancy. I was like, okay, so maybe you went for dinner one evening. And we just had her roll to see whether she could successfully, avoid being noticed, kind of being friends, now that she's under more careful scrutiny. We saw that she got spied on. Did she roll or did I just say that? I can't remember. Either way, her more direct affiliation to Tudor got found out. Happens. This then was followed by now Cecil has some idea that maybe Midnight is an entirely reliable agent. So he's going to take some steps to disrupt the court's regular activities. And I was thinking to myself, what would they do? And then I came up with it because I had literally that very day seen a trailer for a movie about it's a semi-true story, based on a true story kind of movie, but it was about the gay rights movement 50s, 60s. I can't remember. I don't remember the year, but it very clearly showed there was a meeting of young homosexuals and other people of non-straight, non-hetero sexualities and possibly non-binary gender identities. And the way that people attempt to shut this down was they just sent policemen in to beat the shit out of them and disrupt it. So I was like, well, yeah, do that. So I, sent people in to go forth and deal with that problem. I'm just going to close my Steam. I've just realised it's popping up. So people were sent in to deal with that problem. And it got a little, tense in there. And then things kind of snowballed. Hard. Really hard. So yeah, we now are into an interesting point where there might be a player character death in the next session. We will see. I'm intrigued to find out. I'm not certain, and I obviously can't predict it because, it's all down to the dice in the end and not actually me, but in both Midnight and Tudor are wandering into, to do a Black Ops mission, as it were, through Cecil's compound. Lux, while in her tank, is, riding down onto the compound with her cannons ablazing and stuff like that, and... sorry. Stein is possibly risking life and limb with a giant mob behind him and, climbing an elevator shaft. So there's going to be a lot of hoo-ha. A lot of danger. For everybody. Very interesting. Very tense session. And a lot of things are going to change as a result of it. So, let us adjust our fronts, shall we? Somebody in the chat asked me whether I can go back to... Well, no, a player from my old campaign asked me if I can go back to Airships and Dragons. And I would, if you guys were in any way scheduled. So, schedulable. So the first thing we get to do, right away, is, you see this front here? This whole guy? Done. He's dead. He's so dead. Gone from everything. You are a non-entity, Mr. Man. Or you are a very dead man. Yeah. He's just gone. He died. So we removed that front, it's gone. No need to worry about it anymore. I think this one has advanced. Obviously, because an example was made of a court member. Greg got gut shot and died on the floor. And he's definitely gone to war because he switched off the air supply. Down to the... I think, hell, we might be in this one. In this one, I think, is probably where we were. So, select to move. Let's copy that. Control V. So, I think this one is that we've actually seen on screen. Fortifies compound. Because we just saw that happening as we faded out last time. So Cecil's compound has now, his army of guys with guns and all that jazz behind. Guns and body armor and, I think, more firepower than we've so far seen in the show. The only gun we've seen that can really do proper damage so far is Sheriff's gun, and that's because it's a big fuck-off magnum, basically. But these guys have got, assault rifles, and probably even a couple of grenade launchers, or rocket launchers, stuff like that. They've got a lot of shit, and they've also got, all of them have body armor. These guys be rocking, 1-2 armor for all of them. Whereas half the PCs have none. Midnight has a one-shot pistol that does 2 harm. The PCs are in some serious trouble, unless they get some serious backup. But yes. But Cecil is still alive. So we don't have to delete this threat yet, because he ain't dead yet. And there's still a step. There's still a step. And I wonder what that step is. Because I think Cecil will literally... crush it into dust to prevent it. If it's a choice between him, like him owning it, or anyone else owning, destroying it, or anyone else owning Cecil Road, he'll destroy Cecil Road first. Now, I wonder what steps he has in place to achieve that. Because here's the thing. So say, for instance, that they win, but they don't manage to like completely save the day. If a whole bunch of people die from oxygen starvation, Tudor and then Tudor is in charge somehow. We enter this issue of a whole crap ton of the capable people in this town have just died. Like that. They're gone. As have a lot of the men who know how to use guns. And revolutions tend to kind of keep on going for a while. So Tudor will be in control of a town that is far too big, the amount of manpower he currently has. Oh dear, sorry. Yeah, far too big for the amount of manpower he has. And like people like Greg, who knows how to run these sorts of things, gone. Bunch of the capable people, gone. Bunch of the soldiers, gone. Possibly members of his court who run all these things, all gone. Like, how is he going to keep going? So I think, yeah, Cecil's plan is to salt the earth. I wonder whether he'll just kind of either spite, blow shit up, or what? What do we think? What do we think? Any ideas, chat? Do you think he'll blow everything up to keep his control over it, or does he have another plan in mind? Is his console like voice activated or something that will actually turn the air back on and he'll just refuse to do it? And also we got to remember that I forgot this one. But when you go and aggro on Cecil, you don't. You can't threaten Cecil with violence. I think we may have to re-establish that one. I think Cecil wants to stay in power, preferably. I don't know how he would have any plan to do that. I think maybe he has a nuclear solution. Anyway, we'll keep that in the back of our minds. We'll have a think about it. I have a new plan on the Miasma Psychic, guys. And I'm quite proud of it. Very fun. Because my new plan on the Miasma Psychic is, I think... Remember, if last time we'd had a little discussion about what might happen to East Harrow if he dies. About how this armor shell that Tudor has constructed around his soul, as it were, may isolate him from whatever the afterlife is. The maelstrom is in some way linked to the human soul. Whatever's done to him might isolate him from basically returning to the great flow. His spirit can't return to it, whatever. So if that's the fact, I think that the Miasma Psychic may be a kind of ghost type thing. I think she may be... We know she's an experiment of Dr. Tessia. So I think that whatever he did to her allowed her... Basically, she fled her own body, but was able to retain herself through the Maelstrom. And I think the miasma is a way of preparing hosts. I think the way what it does when it slowly breaks down on people's sanity is that it basically... She's breaking down their soul so that she has space to insert themselves into her life. Into their lives, sorry, and into their bodies. Because they're so broken from having done things they consider so horrific and so against what they would do. She traumatizes them into giving up and then just goes... Whoop. I think I know in whose body she is right now. Because it'd be interesting. I think she's in Preed's. If you haven't heard Preed, he's the doctor. And yeah, I think that's where she is right now. And she's attempting to spread the miasma around so that she can have more... Sorry, that she's spreading the miasma around so that she can have more hosts to possibly flee to. So, for instance, say Midnight goes through something really traumatic, as was suggested, in the next bit of a session, Miasma Psychic might give up on Preed and leave him a gibbering mess and flee into Midnight's body, or something like that. And because the Miasma Psychic was in the body of Midnight, sorry, the Miasma Psychic was in the body of Preed, Preed spent like 15 minutes pulling a bullet out of Midnight's leg. You want extended physical intimate contact. I think that counts, to be honest. Yeah, this may not be what happens. We know that she wants to cause chaos. Maybe it still is what happens. Maybe the miasma psychic hates Cecil for something. I think that might be it. Oh, whoops. Undo. Yeah, I think the miasma psychic still hates. We still don't know who she is, though. Like, why is she doing this? Like, who is she? Why is she doing this? Yeah. We know what the miasma does. It prepares host bodies for... It breaks down the soul of a person until they're a ready host for our dear friend, the miasma psychic. Why does the miasma psychic hate Cecil? Because from here, we know she wants to kill him. We know she plans to use Midnight to do it. Because she wants to get him to her. She wants. They're close, so she thinks she can use her as a weapon. What happens after that? I think the miasma psychic. I think she's insane, like straight up loony, because I don't think a human soul is supposed to be able to do what hers can do. Like, it's called the psychic maelstrom. That's not a place you want to throw your unprotected mind and psyche into just off the cuff, because it's a little unpleasant. A lot of general bad juju going on there. So I think she's insane, like utterly insane. Cecil's daughter? Interesting one. Perhaps. I'll think on it. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. There, we'll keep... but yeah, I think she still wants to raise Cecil Road, which I think involves the murder of every inhabitant and the destruction of the place itself. She hates it with a passion. Something in her truly despises this place. I wonder. I had a thought that because the way we're going it now is that the miasma psychic has connections to both Dr. Tessia and to Cecil. She hates them both for reasons that we're not quite clear on yet. So maybe her next move is to move on Wintermute. We'll see. We'll see about this stuff. But yeah, the reason that I think it might be interesting to have her in Preed, both that it gives her a way to get in touch with Midnight, but also it's because the only person with Stein right now who's in the key position of being able to save everyone's lives is Preed. So you best believe that whole thing is going to be sabotaged, or at least attempted sabotage. And yeah, it's going to be psychic versus psychic. I'm looking forward to this front. This one, I think he got himself this guaranteed, didn't he? By Lux. So if Lux wants the keys to the skid mark back, she has to put him on the court. So, yeah. I think this one is progressing, but for the moment we won't worry about it too much. It's not interesting right now. This one, I think we're going to do. We're going to redo a threat here, because we need to plan this one in a bit. Cecil's compound. Because, yeah, there's a lot of shit going on here right now. So, let's have a look. We need to go to, like, page 70 odd. Look at that. Look at that. I'm so good at this. Okay, fortress. This is a fortress. This one. Fortress, its impulse is to deny access. The description and cast. We have Cecil Sec. We have Sheriff's Men. We have Rourke in here. Rourke is an interesting wild card in here because if he like if Rourke is, if they meet Rourke, if the Black Ops team meets Rourke, Midnight has Hypno hold over him, which entirely prevents him from acting against Midnight. So he can't physically, by the rules of the game, cannot be in a firefight with Midnight. Or at least if he is, he cannot fire a shot. So that actually might be kind of their ticket in. Because, yeah. He's kind of... yeah, he's a little bit like their key component guy. So he might be actually a really good person to have on team. A trained professional killer with a bunch of body armor and some big guns. We'll see. Suspect Sheriff's Men, Rourke. We will also have... Who else? Who else needs to be in? Let's get a couple named guys in here. So I think we'll have Sheriff second in command. But I just do stupid stuff. Just call him Deputy. Yeah, we just call him Deputy. I like to think these two arrive together in Cecil Road, and it's just, yeah, you just have Sheriff and Deputy, who both carry like massive 6-shooters, and they're just cowboys. Because I'm stupid like that. I need the captain of Cecil Sec, because I don't think it's Rourke now. It might have been, but I don't think it fits anymore. So we will make that guy... Do we have it twice? We have it twice. Let's have a... Ella. Captain of Cecil Sec. There. We've got these two kind of lead, Ella and Deputy kind of leading the like big like army. There's probably like 50 to 100 guys fortifying this compound, like with good guns and a bunch of that. But you've got like 200 to 300 people who are very pissed off left in the rest of it. Of this, yeah, maybe 300 to 400 almost, I'd say. What do we define the population of Cecil right at? Like 500 people? So yeah, if you've got like 100 people in there and you've got like 400 elsewhere. So custom move. Fighting from inside. Oh dear. Fighting from... And fighting... Trying to get in... Oh. I got it. I was looking for the right way to phrase this. When defending Cecil's... the compound... Gain... +1 or +2 armor? I think... maybe +1 armor? I think +2 armor, because then it's gonna, like, even with a big fuck-off tank, they can get the gates down. Like, here's the thing. Basically, there's gonna be a big fuck-off gate. Big, scary fuck-off gate. But they have a tank. So if they just ram the tank into it and knock it down, then everyone can pour inside, and then the armor doesn't count for anything. Because it's basically big, scary walls. But if they can get into the inside the big, scary walls, this bonus disappears. And also, yeah, you probably hammer the morale of these guys. Now let's see. Obviously, we've got the first one of location fortified. Oh. By the way, thank you to AP Gaming Real, who is now hosting me for one viewer. You the man. If you haven't checked out AP Gaming Real, by the way, I may be doing some stuff with him in a while, which would be very exciting. Although that's on America time, so you guys will have to watch on YouTube by and large. But yes, I'm very excited to do something there. He does a lot of this kind of role-playing content. He's got several shows. He's got Apocalypse World 1, a Pathfinder 1, a Dungeon World stroke Pathfinder 1, I believe. Possibly another one. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yes, you should go check him out on Twitch. AP Gaming Real. Also, hello to you, Honda Skoda. Welcome to the stream. But yes, okay, so we got location fortified. Cool. We have, what will happen next? They're called to arms against a... That's already happened. Select a move. So if the location's already fortified, in here it's preventable. Like, this is kind of the scaling up and preparing for battles. A lot of this will already have happened. I think this might be where, yeah, I think this access is shut down. Between floors. So nobody moves around while there's a threat. Internal threat, I think, more specifically. And I think this is where bad stuff starts happening. Maybe they start blowing stuff up. This area is like, this is where they start detonating floors. Spite people. I don't know. Maybe they have big scary guns. Big scary guns are deployed. Let's call this big scary guns. Which are probably coming online literally now, so by the time the PCs get there, we'll be online. Make it a bit more interesting. Also, that we do the interesting thing of there's the 3 Wintermute guys inside the compound, who maybe we'll get to them. But yeah, we'll leave that for now. I've decided what's happening inside, but the battle for Cecil's compound, I'm not sure how that's going to work entirely. So this hasn't progressed at all. It won't change. Those 2 PCs probably not going to interact. I realise we've kind of got a bit out of order here, but that one has already happened. So. Greg the Welder. Oh, whoops. I'm so sorry, buddy. You're very dead. Single tear. This one bothers me. I don't know what to get. Small World Boogie goes, nothing has really changed on here. These guys are all still doing what they're doing. We'll get back to them in a while. Nothing much is there. This one hasn't moved. The Ice Witch. Oh, no, we have had this. Mysterious disappearances have been happening in border towns. That was discussed in our last one. I haven't had a border town mentioned yet, but this also, I think, is what is playing up with medical supplies. Because I think medical supplies are difficult to synthesize as of yet. Like, people can do it, but like bulk shipments come from raiding old hospitals in London, stuff like that. So, old hospitals and pharmacies and things like that, because it's all nicely frozen and preserved. So they get in there, they nab it and they get back out again. So with people going missing from all the towns bordering the storm around London, less medical supplies. Cool. The silence in East Harrow. I think I need to tweet this. Because in the next session, we could skip straight to here. Like, this could just happen in the next session. Just by off chance, like East Harrow could just get popped. Because I think definitely East Harrow is going to turn up to help with the Black Ops mission. Like, there is no way in hell East Harrow is letting him run into that, letting Tudor run off without him. Thingy, we didn't so much discuss border towns as we had, as we did, it got to... We didn't so much discuss border towns as it was just mentioned that they weren't having any, like, luck with medical supplies, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned disappearances. I'll have to go back and check, but I'm pretty sure I did. I think this realization of emptiness has happened. I think when East Harrow got knocked out and stuff, he kind of realized, like, he woke up and just felt wrong. I think he's realizing he feels wrong. He doesn't have time to search for a fix. That's gonna happen later. But yeah, once he does this, he's gonna be kind of like the Black Miasma psychic. And he'll be able to float and invade people's brains and do all that funky shit. We'll see. But for now, that's all that's happening here. Where's Wintermute? There's Wintermute. How did I miss Wintermute? Alright. I have realized, I think something about... So for Frostbite, I had some ideas. Of, Oh. Okay. Roll20's having some issues. I think it's basically it's Dr. Tessia's attempts at building a perfect body. I think it carries stuff from person to person, like mutagens essentially. So I think it's going to start doing cosmetic. I think the first thing we'll have violent mood swings. I'm just gonna have to tell. I trust Johnny to actually do this because he's quite good. He's quite good at kind of playing to these things. Whoops. But I'm just gonna tell him, like, maybe in the next one that he kind of loses any and all sensible control and just kind of goes full violent. Because Johnny's pretty good at doing that kind of stuff. I'll tell him, like, yeah, to roll plus cool once in battle. And yeah, he'll go with it. I think this is where we'll start seeing minor cosmetic changes. This may take like another week or so. We'll see. Yeah, I think things like his eyes will start, Lux's eyes will start changing, possibly growing extra, like, longer and more hair. Yeah, and like generally just different sorts of stuff. I really want to try and make Midnight and Lux have sex again now they've both got these. I don't like this urge thing. I'm gonna get rid of this urge thing. I don't like it. I think this one is full transformation of, like, physical mutation, but I think this also involves a lot of mind, like, erosion. Actually, well, no, because if they bang, then both of them have a possibility to get the other disease. And could you imagine if all of these crazy physical mutations happened to one of the two that happened to them while they're also under the effects of all these crazy violent impulses? Like, so much bad shit. So much bad shit. It would be horrendously wonderful to watch. Actually, I think I know what this one is. I think Wintermute itself is built on some kind of psychic beacon. I think maybe it's being harnessed for stuff. It's also why the Miasma Psyche hasn't necessarily just gone back there straight away. But summoned. Ooh. Intermute. No, I know where this one should go. This one is actually going to be here. I'm gonna give 6 to 9 a very useful one. Gains capacity to survive the cold. Who says I'm never nice to my players, eh? Like, a lot of this stuff is Tessia is remodeling humanity to be perfect for the New World Order. Which includes the fact that it's fucking cold outside. So yeah. And I don't this thing is physical mutations, so that might be fur. Or maybe if any of you have read The Strain, really good series of books. Also been made into a TV show. Don't know how good the TV show is. But in the Strain, like, it's I don't want to get too much into detail, but people start getting mutated, and one of the side effects is they basically turn into like fucking radiators with the amount of heat they're throwing off. I'm gonna swap these around. I think these may be accelerated by high stress situations. So I think watch out for a scene in the next episode where Lux looks in her wing mirror or something and notices her eyes, like one of her eyes has turned into like wolf slit eyes or something. Yeah, not quite that warm, Ingy. It's Dr. Tessie we're talking about. He's hardly the generous type. Yeah. What is it about Wintermute that is a psychic beacon? Does he have some kind of like... Is there some kind of like super psychic thing there? Yeah, violent mood swings will happen. Come back to Wintermute. I mean, something that kind of like... This one is... Maybe... Actually, I'm gonna move this one here. I think this one needs to be something that like can again, like, it breaks down the person's regular will and forces them into like a bad place, so they stop. I think it's some kind of feeding thing like that. I'm channeling a lot of werewolf mythos into these guys because they need to like. I think that this thing is like a mutating virus type thing, and I think it intakes like nutrients or something along those lines, and as it does so, it reuses it in the body to kind of mutate the body, and then do things like gives the capacity to survive the cold. And once they can survive the cold, they can make the journey to Wintermute. And once in close enough proximity to the psychic-y stuff in Wintermute, full transformation happens. Yeah. Enough to give plenty of chances to avoid this consequence. Because otherwise it's really mean. I just said, oh, you failed one roll in week 1, now you're fucked. But we'll see exactly how that works. Yeah. Don't know why post-transformation they'd attack, though. Maybe they're drawn to large groups of humanity or something. Cool. Alright. Alright. Okay. Do we have to adjust our home fronts at all? Yes, we do. Fare thee well, Greg. You will be missed. Small world, big ego. Let's add a departure threat. I think we need one. Archers, Well, my image of the my image of Frostbite isn't necessarily that it's like it just kind of tries to like recombine people in certain ways to make them. It's bringing stuff from old hosts forward. So maybe not eyes, maybe like nails or teeth. Maybe it's teeth, like to it'll mutate Lux's jaw in an effort to kind of make her more effective at hunting or killing stuff. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe teeth instead of eyes. Maybe human eyes are preferable because I don't know. Maybe they're better light vision or I don't know. I haven't quite worked out all the details. I make this up as I go along, dear. So yeah, this one we'll call Parcher's ambitions. So we all noticed that Parcher kind of had slinked away. Slinked? Slunk? Left. And Parcher's gonna be a brute. He's gonna be a mob. No, a family. Him and his farmers. Mob. Oh, sorry. Family. His impulse is protect his own. Description and cast. So we have Parcher. We have Jeremiah, the supposed betrayer. And I'm sure he had another. See, but I can't remember his name right now, so we'll leave it for now. I don't think Jeremiah actually really betrayed him. I think he leaked that because he needed to. Yeah. Archer's custom move. I don't know yet. But yeah. Infiltrate. Court. Actually, no. We don't need to write this as if it was a plan all along because things have changed rapidly. His plan is adapting. And I think now he's in the scramble to get to the top. So right now, hailing Tudor. He wants to be. I don't necessarily if he wants to be on the winning side, but I think he wants to be on the. He wants to be the winning guy. So I think we may get a sort of Reservoir Dogs-esque standoff over Cecil's little panel that controls the air supply and the food and whatnot. Infiltrate. Compound. I'll give them some chances to maybe notice him or something. Or if they roll to read a charge situation or anything like that, they say, "Where's my true enemy?" And I go, "Parcher's behind you." Yeah. Gain access to control panel. Yeah. I think the next things that happen are wins the day. Just say at the end of it all, he's the guy still in charge. Because up to this point, it's very stoppable. Because even if it gets here, it can still be stopped before it goes past 9, where somebody shoots him in the head. Say he's the winner. Say when Tudor and Cecil and Parcher and whoever else are all in that little room, there's a big shootout and Parcher's the last man left standing. Then we start to get crazy stuff. And this is where I think he starts to hold Cecil Road hostage. He's gonna start like basically he'll lock down access to the lower floors. He'll have his own guys who are planted within the populace because he controls like all the farmers and stuff, and those are his family, his freaky little family. And I think basically through violence and intimidation will and like proving like I have control over the air supply. Fuck you guys. Without Tudor to lead them, because if we get here, Tudor's dead. If we might not get there, but if we do, Tudor is definitely dead. Or imprisoned. One of the two. Yeah. And he'll get there, and then he'll start to hold them hostage and start to basically control the stuff. And yes, it'd be very unpleasant. Think Immortum Joe from the latest Mad Max film. I think that's the kind of feeling that Parcher will produce if he's left in charge. Is I don't know if there's anything else in there. Do we need to put anyone else in our home front? Do we have any unanswered questions about this place? Oh, I know. What is the final function of Cecil's control panel? Yep. What does it cost Cecil to recruit Parcher? I think this may be irrelevant now. I don't think that Parcher's particularly playing for Cecil's team. Okay. Okay. This bothers me that I haven't got this filled in. I kind of need to have this filled in. Does anyone have any ideas? Any good ideas for what the big scary things of Cecil's compound could be? Do they start nerve gassing the rest of the town? Do they they activate a self-destruct sequence? Like, fuck you guys. Basically, this one is starting this guy off. We'll see. All right. I think we're good for this time. I think we'll see things play out a bit. I'm quite interested to see. Why are you the wrong size? Map and background. I've written stuff as stakes questions now, so I'm happy to leave them unanswered. Oh my god, what the? Why are you so small? You're being really weird. Please stop being so weird. Hey. Wait. Okay. Then we're good. I'm excited to see this next one. It's gonna be some rough times ahead for the players. But I mean, all of them have ways of dealing with it. So I think there's definitely a PA system built into this panel. And if Judah can get there, he can go frenzy into the microphone. And suddenly he's got 400 people in a gang. Provided that the rest of the people can, like, fix things. Midnight's going to be the interesting one, because she's very injured right now. And I'm curious to see... probably do a thing for exactly the bat miasma works. Maybe another time, but I think if she has a near-death experience, like a proper one, that's definitely a way in for the miasma psychic. While her psyche remains intact, though, it's not complete. We'll see. Maybe I'll give her weird. Like, I'll just say, okay, yeah, you wake up from near-death experience with +2 weird, as opposed to -2. But every time she rolls it, I force her to, like, roll to act under fire as well, where basically the man's psychic attempts to gain control over her body and use her like a puppet and make her murder people and be a generally terrible human being. We'll see. I think we're going to have a lot to talk about in the next session. There's going to be... whatever happens in this coming one, things are changing. The status quo is collapsing around us. As I said, there is no status quo in Apocalypse World. I am very excited to see the results of this next session. It's going to be dramatic, whatever it is. Because Cecil Road is going to crumble, and even if Tudor is in charge, his power stems entirely from his symbiotic relationship with his court. And so depending on how his fortunes roll goes, he could either be the most popular mayor who ever lived, king of all he surveys, or he could be like, it could go a bit French revolutionary and he could be getting guillotined in the town square. Meanwhile, we're going to have massive holes within the infrastructure of the city, regardless of what happens. Like, a battle is coming, and no matter who wins, Cecil Road will have massive holes in its infrastructure, and we're going to see that happening. That's going to really heavily affect stuff like, there weren't enough medical supplies before. That means everyone who has even the slightest bullet wound might just die. And yeah, the next few sessions, the remaining PCs, whoever they are, will struggle. Stein will probably have a run-in with the Miasma Psychic at her true form and see what that's all about. I'm excited. Alright, we're going to wrap this one up here. So, thank you all for coming down. Remember, if you are on the YouTubes, check the description below for the highlighting stats. Where's it gone? The highlighting stats thread. You need to give people XP, and to give people XP, you have to vote in those straw polls. If you're on the Twitch stream, I have just dropped the red link in the chat. Go there, vote, give people stats. Choose how you want this campaign to play out. Do you want violence and death in the streets? Vote for hard. Do you want the psychic maelstrom to descend into Cecil Road? Vote for weird. Do you want them to maybe think for like 30 seconds before running in head first? Vote for sharp. Any and all of these are good choices. But yes. Alright. Thank you for coming, YouTube people and Twitch people. This is week 3. Signing off. Bye. Alright. Oh god. Okay.